Get your nautical gear ready. We are boating on the PA Road with Mike Stevens.
The old line, "The best is yet to come," fits here. Of course, what's gone before has been pretty good, too. We'll visit a man who just loves to tinker around next on the Pennsylvania Road.
Stevens back from vacation. Don't you go away. Newswatch 16 at 6 is coming right up.
If you were new to Rick Simmons' neighborhood in Nescopec, you might wonder what's under the blue tarp sticking out from the garage. Rick has a photo shop in Berwick, and though he brings work home, certainly not this much. It is actually a place where Rick works quite a bit. Boats do need a lot of work, you know.
I had figured from November, after I built that shed, from November until probably June, maybe July of the next year, I figured I'd maybe be sailing.
That was November 1999, friends. The 24-footer may have looked good when Rick and his wife bought it, but it had problems deep down.
A boat has a personality to me, and we became very attached. It handles beautiful, it rides the waves beautiful. It's a very nice handling boat. It was neglected.
It had a lot of areas that needed a lot of work, lots of equipment that needed updating. For sure, it would be a challenge to fix up. But for some of us, the challenge is part of the fun of living. The engine came out and was sent off for rebuilding. It looks nice, and it will have an equally nice home to go into, one that's clean and neat. We should also tell you that Rick is not a trained boat builder, but he asks a lot of questions and works slowly.
I don't have any power tools, which I'll show you in a minute. I've just got hand power tools. Everything is done by hand.
So slowly but surely the work progresses, and Rick thinks it won't be long now. I would remind you he's thought that before. Late summer, early fall, he thinks, for a launch date. Then it will be behind him, but he'll have one regret.
I would have done a 40 to a 48-footer if I was going to spend 3 years.
Well, there can always be another boat. Mike Stevens, Newswatch 16, on the Pennsylvania Road.
Coming up next on Newswatch 16.
Like getting a promotion.
Scranton's finest stepping up to a new rank here today. We'll check this out next on Newswatch 16.
And later, a Labor Day holiday cruise with Mike Stevens on.
You know, if you put your sights on something, there is no telling what you might accomplish.
Such is the case with the man our Mike Stevens met on the Pennsylvania Road.
Lake Wallenpaupack has some mighty fancy boats floating on it, but I doubt there's many that have the same meaning for their owners as the one Rick Simmons drives.
Very much.
My, what a job you did.
The Tricia Inn, ready to go.
You remember what it looked like?
Oh, yeah.
The story behind his boat begins actually in his garage. We met him when his boat was still in pieces. Rick had set his mind to restoring it, no matter that he had no experience. As you might guess, it took some time to finish the project, but finish it he did. When he put it finally into the water, there was still more work needed, fine-tuning, inspections, those kinds of things. For Rick and his family, the end of the work and the start of the fun was in sight. For a project done by a man feeling his way along through such a complex mechanical and structural restoration, we all thought it came out looking just fine.
When you do everything by yourself, totally, no help anywhere, that takes a long time.
3 years and 6 months, that's how long it took. More than half a mile of wire, 5,000 stainless steel screws. The numbers are staggering when you consider it was all installed by one man learning as he went, working 25 hours a week, even in winter.
All I could do was work until I was too tired. I knew when I had to quit.
But he did not quit the project, and though it took a chunk of time, Rick Simmons can't help but consider it time well spent. Mike Stevens, News Watch 16, on the Pennsylvania Road at Lake Wallenpaupack.
Any excuse for him to get out on the lake,
that's
huh?
for sure.
Wow. Hope you and your family have a great and a safe holiday. We'll see you back here Monday for the telethon, huh?
Have a good evening, everyone.